Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I haven't posted in 3 days is because I care about your time. Genuinely, all right? I see a lot of people on crypto YouTube who post for the sake of posting, and I've definitely fallen into that trap before, but I'm not really interested in falling into that trap this bull market. So I don't think there's been any real progressions in the last 3 days, but now I think it's important to come out here again after 3 days and kind of really instill a very important message into you in the crypto charts right now. These are the charts you need to be watching right now, okay? The weekly chart and the monthly chart, right? Because Bitcoin is ramping up for something very, very, very important in 2 days and 8 hours, okay? In 48 hours from when I'm filming this video, there's something very important happening. That is the monthly candle close and the weekly candle close. Let's rewind for a second and get some context here so you can understand what I'm saying. Bitcoin has basically, if you look at the monthly chart, it has this important level at 61.2k. Okay, it's a very important level. I'm going to make it pink so you can see it there. It's a level that was the highest ever monthly candle close. It's a level that we rejected from here in January, and we also found major support here in March. If we zoom in, we can see that major support. This is the pink line. It's the same line on the monthly chart, 61.2k. On the 4-hourly chart, you can see it there. We bounced off that line multiple times. We came down, we crunched against that line, and we ended up jumping to the upside above this yellow line and entering a breakout. We caught that breakout 15 minutes after it occurred in a public YouTube video, and it's been going well since then. But now Bitcoin has actually stagnated, right? It's been stagnated for about 4 days in this price region between 68k and 71k, and it's not at all-time highs yet. It's in between the lows of this range and the high of this range. And so the question is, well, what will happen next? Will we go upwards and break all-time highs again? Or will we enter a more extensive correction, and will this become something akin to like a double top formation or something like that, right? So Bitcoin is not out of the woods yet, okay? Let me say it again. Bitcoin is not out of the woods yet. It has not cleared the necessary levels it needs to clear to enter all-time highs once more. It is still in danger of dropping downwards further. Now, what will quench that danger? What will send Bitcoin high to the upside? What will confirm that Bitcoin is in a decent position to move higher, above all-time highs and beyond? These are the things that would confirm that, okay? The monthly candle close first and foremost. It's closing in 2 days and 8 hours. We need the monthly candle to close above 61.2k. At this point, it's looking quite likely. We're currently at 69k, so obviously dropping to 61k or below would be quite a stretch in a 2 day and 8 hour period. It is possible, but for the most part, it looks like we're pretty good to go on the monthly chart. But more specifically, and a bigger threat, is the weekly chart at this point, okay? The weekly candle, the highest ever weekly candle we saw in the 2021 bull market was where this red line is drawn, at 69k. And if you extend across, what you can see is that very level is the level we rejected from on the recent weekly candle closes here in early March. We went downwards for 2 consecutive candles from that level. And if we close the weekly candle above 69k, that will be the highest ever weekly candle we've ever closed. And that will be a continuation for the upside on a macro scale. Okay. Now, the weekly candle closes in 2 days and 8 hours. The monthly candle closes in 2 days and 8 hours as well. So the monthly candle and the weekly candle are closing at the same time. We know that the monthly candle needs to close above 61.2k, and we know that the weekly candle needs to close above 69k. Since they're closing at the same time, we can basically ignore the monthly candle level, and we can look exclusively at the weekly candle. We can say we need to be seeing a monthly candle and weekly candle close above 69k in 2 days and 8 hours. And this is why Bitcoin's in such a tense position right now, because we are only at 69.4k, right? We are $400 above where we need to be closing in 2 days and 8 hours. So it is highly possible, it is very much on the table that Bitcoin could go downwards and close below both of these important levels it could close below this weekly level, and then the monthly candle close wouldn't really mean too much, right? So for Bitcoin to clear everything, for Bitcoin to be in the clear, to move higher and to go willy-nilly to new all-time highs, we need to be seeing a weekly candle close above 69k in 2 days and 8 hours, and we are really fighting for that level right now. It's very difficult to tell what's going to happen, because if we look at, on a medium-term scale, we see a bounce from support, we see a breakout of resistance, and we see some sort of consolidative structure, which is generally indicative of another upside break. But then you could take the approach that what we've seen right now is a failed breakout with low momentum, and then straight into a double top formation. There's no clear argument right now for Bitcoin on a short-term basis. So all we can do is zoom out and look at the longer term. Where are these candles going to close? Will we close above 69k in 2 days and 8 hours? That is the big question. Now, to really give you an idea of just how tense this situation is, if I haven't already done so, which I think I have, by the way, we have to look at a few more things. For example, Bitcoin dominance, okay? Bitcoin dominance is very, very, very important, and it's very important for two reasons. One reason is it identifies when crypto's in an altcoin season, which is very useful for bull markets. But another reason is Bitcoin dominance generally tells us when Bitcoin is going to move, okay? And what we generally see is that when Bitcoin moves upwards at this phase in the market cycle, Bitcoin dominance does the same, because right now we're still in a Bitcoin season. We're not in an altcoin season yet. So basically what we have right now is Bitcoin dominance facing a resistance line that stems back from 2016, a resistance line that stems back 8 years long. We are testing that line right now, which means it's very difficult for Bitcoin dominance to break further to the upside. If we look at a daily chart on Bitcoin dominance, we can see we have this structure here, this triangular structure, and it basically, if Bitcoin, the actual coin, was to break to the upside, right, Bitcoin dominance would do the same thing. But the problem is Bitcoin dominance is such major resistance from an 8-year resistance line that it could be very hard for Bitcoin dominance to break to the upside, and hence it could be very hard for Bitcoin to break to the upside. So either we have to see one or two things. We have to see Bitcoin dominance, break against the odds and break this resistance line, or we have to see the crypto market go into an altcoin season. Either way, we are at a crossroad here. We're at a kind of a time in which Bitcoin dominance needs to break an 8-year resistance line, which is a very, very major thing that very rarely happens, or the entire Bitcoin dominance macro trend needs to flip into an altcoin season, which again is something that only happens once every 4 years. So that gives you an idea of just how important this period of time is, right? We're really at a crossroads here, and the current price action we're seeing on Bitcoin doesn't really display that on a surface level. But if you dig deeper into things like the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can understand that very easily. You can also look at the USDT dominance chart, okay? And you can see the USDT dominance chart in this very similar fashion to the Bitcoin dominance chart is facing a 5-year-long support line right now. Now, USDT dominance, obviously, if the market goes upwards, this goes downwards because people deploy their USDT for coins. And if the market goes upwards, I've stuffed that up. If the market goes upwards, okay, this goes downwards because people are deploying their USDT to coins. And if the market goes downwards, this goes upwards because people are selling their coins for USDT. And what we see right now is the USDT .D chart is on a 5-year-long support line, meaning it's very likely to bounce, meaning the market is likely to go down based on this chart, or it's very likely to break this 5-year-long support line, which again would be a very major macro flip. So what am I trying to say, right? A lot of words here, and I want to bring it to a point just in case I've lost you in the words, right? Bring you back to where I'm actually, what I'm actually speaking about here. I'm saying that right now, if we dig deeper into the charts, we can see a lot of charts are at major macro crossroads and they need to make a major macro decision, flipping the macro trend or breaking very, very important lines, which is indicative of what we're seeing on the price action chart for Bitcoin right now being much deeper than it looks. It's very important what happens here, okay? Now, I'm not saying that if Bitcoin doesn't close the weekly candle above this level, we're going to enter a bear market. That's a ridiculous thing to say. It just shows that this could be a very potentially important time for Bitcoin. And that's why we need to pay extra close attention to it. So in 2 days and 8 hours, we have 69K, and we really would like to be closing above that level. If we didn't close above that level, if we did reject from that level, that would be indicative of a more extensive correction. And by the way, just to be very clear here, a more extensive correction would not be a bad thing from a macro scale. It would not be unhealthy. We did that in 2020 from the same weekly chart level. It took us about a month to break above that level. If we look at the cycle before that in 2017, it actually took us about 100 days and 2 separate 30% corrections to break above that weekly chart level. So again, it wouldn't be the end of the world if we did see a more extensive correction. It would just be a slight inconvenience because obviously people want the market to go upwards. So this is a very, very important time, and everyone needs to be watching that candle close on the weekly chart and monthly chart in 2 days and 8 hours. I'll keep you guys updated with it. Thank you guys for watching. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed the video. Guys, go ahead and check out the BingX and BitGet exchanges. My referral links for these exchanges are down below in the description. You can get 15% trading fee discounts for life with my referral link, as well as exclusive rewards in the reward center. They have never been hacked before, and they've got very low trading fees, so check them out. We then have the Crypto Academy's Become a Trader bull market sale. If you want to learn how to trade in a university-style course format, you can do so with Become a Trader. Best course on the market, and one of the best deals on the market you're going to get as well. It's not going to cost cost you, $10,000 like some of these people out here for 3 hours of content. This is 40 hours of content, very substantial stuff here. And then finally, the VIP group, if you want to trade altcoins on VIP, we've got a 78.52% win rate. Get in there, trade altcoins with me, interact with the community there on Telegram. All the members are very active, so check it out. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in my next video. Cheers.